is a tradition for the River of Calm live streaming concert. We're going to ring this antique singing bowl 3 times. It's a tradition of healing, and we want to set the intention for a calming concert. And this bowl was built in late 1800s, early 1900s, and I love ringing it. And my friends think I'm really weird. Love the reverb on that and how it carries. Well, again, welcome to the River of Calm live streaming concert. My name is Ed Basil, and I'll be your host. And the River of Calm live streaming concert is brought to you by Miller Piano Specialists and their Nashville's authorized Yamaha dealership. So thank you for being here for this and for the Tibetan Singing Bowl. And we want to thank our studio audience that's live. We really appreciate you coming. And also everyone that's online, thank you for being a part of this also. Make sure to like and share our page. And if you can share the concert, that's great, because this is a grassroots effort. And we're here to spread calming music to the world. And the River of Calm, what is it? It's actually an online streaming station that features calming music from over 50 independent artists who are beautifully gifted and provide their music. But it's not only music. We also provide informative TED Talks and videos and articles on music and how it helps with stress, with PTSD, with depression. And it's just a way that we can help maybe that person who is just at the edge and just needs some calming. So that's why we're calm here. And the River of Calm, by the way, is available on Apple and Android, so you can get your calm on the go. And if you want to be on our list for upcoming events, the cool thing is you can text the word CALM, C-A-L-M, to 33222. That's text the word CALM to 33222, and we'll get you going on that. Now, if you're in the studio audience as opposed to the live stream audience, you know that this is an intimate type of event. We're all here close together, and the furthest seat back is way closer than the front row of any concert you're going to be at. And that's because we want it to be intimate. We want you to feel the music that's here and the wonderful artists that we have here. So once again, for our online audience, please like and share and let us know you're there. And we'll start with our first artist that's on the River of Calm. And this is a great way for us to showcase him. I'd like to bring out, he's from the Nashville area. He's an amazing guitarist, and that's Lance Allen. Lance? Have a seat. Well, it's a pleasure you're here. Thanks for being a part of this.
Thanks for having me, Ed.
No kidding. So you're pretty famous. Well, first off, tell us, Lance is on the River of Calm. You can hear his music. It's beautiful, finger picking. He is really creative. But how did you get started? And from what I read, it was your father getting 6 packs of beer to a guitar teacher.
That was part of it. So when I took lessons, Dad, of course, paid him in beer.
Nice.
Or $5 or whatever. I took a half-hour lesson and I'd learn whatever, honestly, uncalming music that I could learn as a teenager, because I was learning Nirvana and Metallica.
Nice.
But it turned out so calm.
How did that happen? Now, how old were you when you started?
I was probably 12 or so. And that's when I started playing guitar. My dad also played guitar.
No kidding.
And so he kind of showed me Chet Atkins' style of music. And later in my teenage years, I was involved in church, and I was introduced to Phil Keaggy's music.
Nice. Phil Keaggy's a local musician, too.
And Phil's music was very inspiring to me, and I started to play like that. And then I went to see Phil Keaggy at a concert, and Tommy Emmanuel was there, and that really set me on fire after hearing Tommy. So nice. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah. So now you consider your style a finger-picking style.
Right, finger-style guitar. And it's not really classical, or it's kind of contemporary guitar. And I just basically play the strings with my thumb or my thumb pick, and I use the other fingers to play the melody or the chord parts.
Nice. How many CDs do you have now?
I have 5 CDs, and right now I'm not sure how many singles I've released digitally. So there's probably 10 or more.
Wow.
And I do like 2 a month. I do two or three singles a month.
Wow, that's production.
Yeah. And Avery, who you'll get to hear here in a while, also is helping me out. We're doing cover songs in kind of unique ways, not necessarily like they were originally done, but and you can find those on Spotify, all those digital releases.
And then your music you can find on lanceallenmusic.com.
Right, or Guitar Lancer is my mantra, or sort of a name there. Tommy Emmanuel gave me that name.
Nice.
Guitar Lancer.
And get this, how many Spotify listeners do you have?
Currently, 600,000 or so.
Woo! Yeah. Get it. Well done, sir.
In January, it went over 1 million.
No kidding?
So it really is all about playlist placement. And of course, my song got moved down in a playlist, and you lose a little bit of monthly listeners, but I was #1 there for a while. And
And #1 in our hearts too, man.
Thanks, man.
So lastly, how do you think that your music is calming, or how did you get from thrash metal to calm?
Well, I'm pretty sure that was just listening to Phil's music, and I was pretty inspired by some piano players early on and some classical guitarists, and that's probably where it came from.
Nice.
And I still play the thrash stuff, but you know.
Well, for tonight, you'll be a little calm for us?
Yeah, I'm going to be calm.
Well, it's such a pleasure to have you here, ladies and gentlemen, Lance Allen.
Thank you. The first song I'll play for you is called Just Thoughts. So hopefully you have just thoughts about your loved one or whoever. Violinist Avery Bright out. He's my buddy, and he's who I've been doing a lot of recording with lately. And we're going to play a waltz for you. Kind And this is Avery. All right. There, you didn't have to hear me too.
Dance floor in the back.
All right. This is called Waltz with Joy. I wrote it for my wife. Next song is called Sail On. I wrote this and dedicated it to Pete Hullinger, who was a good inspiration to me. He played guitar for John Denver, and he passed away a couple years ago because he had some heart issues, and I dedicate this song to him. Thank you. All right, this song is an original song. I'm going to just play it by myself. This is called Portrait of an Old Man. And I wrote it while watching a piece of art being made. Thank you. So, are there any Outlander fans in here? Anybody like Outlander, or even know what Outlander is? Okay, all right. Well, Outlander is based off of a book that Diana Gabaldon wrote, and there's a show, and they have this really beautiful song at the beginning of the show, and it's called the Skyboat Song, and it's a Scottish tune. So we're going to play that for you after I get the special tuning. this next song is called Thankful Morning, and it's kind of calming, and it's a little more upbeat than the others I've played, but I wrote it for a friend who almost died the night we had a gig together. He woke up with some food stuck in his throat, had to go to the hospital and get it pumped out of him. So it just happened to be Thanksgiving morning the next day, and I dedicated this song to my buddy called Thankful Morning. Did you want to play on this one?
I get.
Okay, how good. So, Avery and I have been doing some cover songs, and you can find them on Spotify or Pandora or iTunes, that sort of thing. This next song we're going to do is actually a famous song from the band Lifehouse. Lifehouse was kind of famous in the 90s, but they got their start in the late 90s. And they did a song called You and Me, and it's been sung at so many weddings. I can't even imagine how many weddings that song has been done at. And as I get back into standard tuning, we'll play it for you.
Pretty sure I heard it at Home Depot a few days ago too.
Yeah, at Home Depot, yeah. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere,
So we decided to do it.
including the River of Calm.
It's a really pretty melody, and that's why we chose it. There we go. All right, here it comes, You and Me. If you know it, you can sing along. we're going to do Just a Moment. Is that okay?
Just a moment.
Just a moment. I like it just a moment with you sometimes. We like to share bacon with each other, by the way.
That is true.
And coffee and things like that. So whenever we get together to practice, we eat bacon and drink coffee.
Yes.
It's really that way.
It's really great for the fingerboards on our
Yeah. We change strings often. So this song is called Just a Moment, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
That's out, ladies and gentlemen. Great job, and Avery Bright, thank you so much. And together your project, Avery, come on out and take a bow. Come on now. Nice work on that.
Yeah.
So your project together is called Allen and Bright.
Allen and Bright, and then the majority of our music currently is under Lance Allen.
Got it.
But I created a playlist called Allen and Bright, and it's all easy to find.
Nice. So we can find it at Lance Allen Music. And one more thing, in addition to being a thrash metal finger-picking guitarist with 6 billion Spotify people,
6 billion.
he's also an Eagle Scout.
Whoa.
Yeah, I read your bio.
On my honor.
There you go.
Well, and I can also do my ABCs backwards. Want to hear it?
No.
Z-Y-X-O-B-B-E-T-S-R-Q-P-O-N M-L-K-J-I-H-G-F-E-D-C-B-A. There you go.
You've got some talent, buddy. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thanks, everybody.
Lance Allen, everyone. You come this way. I'll go this way. Wow, that was beautiful. I could just relax and rest with that for sure. So this is what we like. So you get to see the artists that are on the riverofcalm.com. You can hear the artist on the riverofcalm.com. Also on our Facebook page, we have a Facebook player, and it's also available on mobile apps for Android and Apple. So may the calm be with you on that. Now, we're sponsored, the River of Calm live streaming concert series is sponsored by Miller Piano Specialist here in Nashville, and they are the authorized Yamaha dealer for Yamaha pianos here in the Music City. And I have with me Sherry, who is the general manager of Miller Piano. Would you come out and tell us what we're playing tonight?
Oh, Ed, he might can say his letters backwards, but I was a Girl Scout.
Oh! Nice.
We are so privileged tonight to be the only authorized dealer for Middle Tennessee, and we are privileged once again to play a lovely Yamaha C7X SH. And what that means to a lot of you guys, it's still the same great quality that the most recorded piano in the industry, Yamaha, puts out, but now the X has got a little oomph to it, and the SH means that tonight, you live broadcast people, and out here, you are hearing a 9-foot concert grand being pre-out into sound equipment, and you are having hammer actions with your players that will be performing tonight, so they don't miss playing that lovely C7X, but they are getting a fantastic feed. And this is what a lot of our institutions, schools, churches, homes, professionals are using, studios.
You can tell she loves her pianos. She knows pianos. Now, one thing we have, in the middle of ringing bells and making sure the lighting's right, and I forgot to turn on the monitor so we can see our pianist hands. So I'm going to turn on the GoPro monitor.
You do that.
And you tell us about, there are so many pianos out there. There are different sizes and shapes. Can you walk us through what the difference between a spin-it piano and what people should have? And I'll
We don't use spin-it here.
Okay.
No, pianos, in purchasing your piano, it's like purchasing my daughter's ballet shoes. It's what makes you light up like a Christmas tree. It's what inspires you. It's keeping that lid open. And if I could do the Febreze commercial, and I could put a sign across every name brand on the market and have you play them, then you would get the piano that you love, and you might be surprised when the label comes off. Okay, so you need to, my heart and my love is with Yamaha and Pearl River and the pianos that we carry here, but I would like to say that the piano that inspires you is the piano you need to purchase, because you'll never play it otherwise. It's just going to sit there as a piece of furniture. Y'all can laugh, because these are kind of funny. These jokes are kind of funny coming out.
Great.
Oh, he's moved.
I'm here.
So now I get to turn this way.
So now I'll take over, and thank you for telling me this. Would you be able to put this on to input 2 for us?
I absolutely can.
Thanks, and this is Sherry Carlisle Smith.
Y'all come to see us at 650 Fraser Drive.
There you go. Thank you for having us.
Into 1 or 2?
2, please. If you will. So, a couple things I want to say, a couple of shout outs to, we've got a great studio audience here tonight, and also on our live stream too, from across the country. I want to shout out to Paul Fleshman in Alabama, Andy Hall in South Carolina, Chuck Cruz in Hollywood, California, Lori Cash Richards in Palos Verdes, and Tim and Vicki Shelton in San Jose. So we've got people all over the place watching, and a lot of River of Calm artists too. So it's really cool to be a part of this and to share beautiful music which reaches down into the DNA. So thank you for being a part of this. Now we have...
Give me 1 more second and talk. You can do it. I've heard you
There,
talk
that's
before.
So I mentioned Lance was an Eagle Scout. Okay.
Okay, is your Amiga turned on? Is your turned
Should
on?
be. We'll double check here.
Yeah, because I'm on 2, and you said 2, correct?
And if not, it could be plugged in, which could be the issue. Sorry. All right. Almost done. Bear with me.
Hey, this is called learning as we grow.
That's right.
It all worked perfect 2 days ago.
It did when we came here. We have a special guest artist tonight too, so stick around for the last of it. And this thing is just being honorary tonight.
Yeah, are you plugged in?
Yes, I'm plugged in now.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah!
Stay calm. Stay calm.
The team effort.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to get that off the side, if you could give me just a second.
Okay, and while she's doing that, I want to bring out our next artist, whom Sherry will eventually give her microphone to. But if we stand close enough here, she's all the way from North Carolina. Will you please welcome Marlowe Carruth? She's all the way from North Carolina, and we're glad to have you here.
And I am so privileged to be here. This is an amazing opportunity. I'm so glad to see everybody and everybody who's watching on Facebook Live. I'm excited to
Heck
be here.
yeah.
Thank you.
Now tell me, she's got a really cool story. You come from a musical family.
Well, my mom was musical.
Mhm.
My dad, well, he could carry a tune, but that was yeah, my mom was a professional musician, but unfortunately I was not able to ever get to know her because she passed away of breast cancer when I was barely 4. I had just turned 4, and but what I did have of hers was her music library and all of her compositions, and I was always very inspired. I grew up playing the piano my whole life, and I majored in piano, classical piano, but I always had this deep desire to create music that would express things that were very inspirational to me, and I would look at her compositions growing up and just be so inspired by that and think, how did she do that, you know? And so finally, about 10 years ago, I started putting serious pencil to paper and writing down things that I would just play in my unquiet time, and a few people started hearing my songs and said, where can we get that recording? And I'm like, well, I don't know, I don't have one. And finally, about 2 years ago, I bit the bullet and made a recording, so here I am.
Nice. And so it's almost like Marlowe's coming into her own in her time of life, and this is really cool to see. So,
Thank you,
yeah.
and you're a big part of that. Thank you.
You're welcome on that. Now, where can we find your music?
Well, I'm on all the major outlets like Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, iTunes. My website is marlowecarruth.com,
And how do you spell that?
that? Marlowe is spelled the British way, Marlowe, and Carruth is like car and Ruth, Carruth.
Nice. And Marlowe has a cute thing. If you want to get a copy of one of her songs, the music to it, if your player's out there, text the word Marlowe to 33222. That's the word Marlowe to 33222, and you'll receive a copy of her Peacemaker song. So why not? So we're glad to have you. And how does your music calm people?
Well, it's certainly calming to me to play it. I just can't think of anything more special in this world than putting something out there and having somebody email you or text you and say, I just want you to know that I was having a really rough day, and I put in your CD and tears started flowing, and I just felt the presence of God lift my burdens, and that just, I mean, makes it all worth it. And that's really the prayer of my heart, is that my music would be a conduit that people could feel God's presence and have whatever healing they need. So.
Nice. That's so cool. So thank you for being here, and we want to feel your presence. And for being here, I want to give you a lavalier mic as a present.
Oh, okay.
So you take this one, and then we'll
I'm
go.
gonna play the piano with this in my hand.
No pressure whatsoever. And again, all the way from North Carolina to play here today is Marlowe Carruth. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm gonna, I kind of took a different approach. Instead of playing all calming music, I'm playing songs off of my recording that are inspired by things that are calming in my life. And the first one being my title song, Eternal Light. And this was, how many of you have ever, you know, at Christmas time, turned out all the lights except for the lights of the Christmas tree, and you just sit there and you're just mesmerized? And that's kind of what inspired this song. I was sitting at the piano and had all the lights off and was just watching the tree, and this little song came to me and said, this is Eternal Light. going to invite my buddy Eric Bikales up here. Eric is no stranger to Miller piano. His pictures on the Hall of Fame, Wall of Fame, whatever. Eric is an incredible keyboardist. He has quite the history. You can go on his website and read about him, but he's also an amazing flutist, so he's going to join me on a few songs here. The first song we're going to do together is called Peacemaker. Everything okay? Peacemaker is written with two distinct themes, like a conversation, and I think meaningful conversation with people in your life that share wisdom through the hard times is it brings me a lot of calm in my life. So this is Peacemaker. Ready? So the next two songs we're going to play back to back, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you about each one of them. The first one is called Prayer for Peace, and I wrote this for the church that I work for back in North Carolina. Shout out to any sunrisers. Where's the camera? Shout out to any sunrisers that are watching. The Prayer for Peace was written for World Communion Sunday. I wrote it in 2013, and certainly prayer is a calming force in my life as well as many others. And then the next song we're going to go right into is called Manna, and this was inspired by a photo montage that was going around the internet in 2010, and you can actually see the music video on the River of Calm website and also on my YouTube channel. It was a photo montage of beautiful pictures from the coast of North Carolina, a little town called Beaufort. And we rarely get these big snows on the coast, and this was just a gorgeous blanket. And it was Valentine's, and it was just a really wonderful surprise for everybody. I was so inspired by these pictures that I actually wrote the song Manna to go along with these pictures. And if you listen carefully, you'll hear the first snowflake and the last snowflake, and maybe some church bells, and the underlying feeling of being in a boat just rocking on the water. So, you know, snow, water, all of those things are very calming, right? So prayer for peace and manna.
this next one's a little scary because it's the first time I've tried to play it in public. This song, well, I found out today that today is summer solstice, so this is perfect. This song is called Cosmos, and on my recording, it's fully orchestrated. So it's put to pictures of the music video is put to pictures from the Hubble telescope, and that's also on Ed's website and also on my YouTube channel. So anyway, the inspiration for Cosmos, I remember the first time I heard on the news that the scientists had discovered the universe was still expanding, and I just thought that God is so much bigger than we even think, and I was blown away by it. And then I heard that there's more galaxies in the universe than there are grains of sand on the earth. I mean, I just can't even get my brain wrapped around that. And then I think about the fact that Jesus said that our Heavenly Father knows every hair on our head. And the fact that the God that created this amazing universe cares about the details of our lives is just mind-blowing. So anyway, I wrote this to kind of make you feel like you're on a journey in space. So enjoy the journey. I know. Thank you so much. This has been such a joy. I would like to invite all the other musicians back out. I asked Lance if we could do my favorite Lance Allen song together, and he agreed, and I'm so excited. I'll let you tell about the song.
Well, I don't have the microphone, but you can hear me fine.
Oh, here.
That's okay. For the people. It's for the people. Anyway, I wrote this song for a guy who owns a sailboat, and he sails down in the Caribbean. And his sailboat is called Cloud Street. So I named this song called Up on Cloud Street. And how I met this gentleman is because I teach Skype guitar lessons to people all over the world. I've taught in all 50 states and all these different countries, and he's the only one I've taught while sailing on a sailboat. Okay, there we go.
Lance Allen, Marlowe Carruth, Avery Bright, and Eric Bikales. Thank you all so much for being here. I've got a couple of announcements. Would you mind running through that one more time, just taking it down low and giving me some walkout music?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and I'll just do the announcements for here, okay? So again, thank you for being part of the River of Calm. Stay tuned for July. We have some great artists from the West Coast. We have Vicente Avelia, a beautiful pianist who's coming in. And then also Grammy-nominated artist John Martin Burke. And then we're going to have the singing bowls of Paula Holly. That's to take a singing bowl bath is really cool. I like this thing. Can you follow me around if I go into Home Depot? Hey, how's it going? We're also going to have the hammered dulcimer of Ted Yoder. Ted is really popular. You'll love him. And then we have pianist Lynn Trudeau and Lisa Swerdlow coming in, and Brian and Holly Cumming with bilateral music, which is EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization, and reprocessing. It's a real cool thing. So we're going to do that. And the River of Calm, again, is online. Text the word CALM to 33222 to get on our mailing list for upcoming events. And I want to give a shout out to Sanai Gosnick in California. May the calm be with you. And I want to thank our studio audience, of course. Thank you all for being here. Thank everyone online for being a part of the River of Calm. And then once again, Lance Allen, Avery Bright, Marlowe Carruth, Eric Bikales. We have Sherry Carlisle Smith. And then we have Deb Sheridan coming in. Is that correct?
Deb did not make it tonight due to illness. We have Amy Miller and Anna.
Amy Miller and Anna. Amy did our video and Amy did our audio. Anna did our video. So anyways, it takes a big crew to do this and to be calm. So and pictures. And CDs are out there too, and cookies and all kinds of free stuff. So